All right, welcome back to the For the Badge podcast. My man Xavier has returned, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at the week gone by in the Premier League. Again, I am Jake, and there's only one place to start. North London is red again. As always, when the Spurs come to the Emirates, Arsenal take the win. Honestly, I think this game went exactly like we thought it would. We knew we were going to keep the ball. We
Right.
knew we were going to come out strong in the beginning, and we knew that Tottenham would sit back. But I thought we did everything almost as perfectly as we could. Partey had a man of the match performance. Odegaard had a man of the match performance. Saliba had a man of the match performance. Jesus was awesome. Saka was awesome. Xhaka has a man of the match performance. Um,
Hell yeah.
I do think, however, that there was a moment in the game where there was a few minutes where we actually looked a little bit rattled. We obviously teams know that they can hit us on the break. Obviously, that's what Tottenham were trying to do.
Right.
And I thought, and something that no one's looking at, their build up to the penalty they got. I swear, Richarlison was offsides.
Right.
I haven't been able to go back and look at it. Like no one's looking at that. It wasn't
No
even a
one.
shot
Yeah.
in the game. There wasn't even a replay in the game. Uh,
Right.
but obviously, I'm a little biased, so I was screaming at the TV. He's offside.
Oh
He's
yeah. He's offside.
offside. And then Gabriel, as he's known to do, makes a bit of a gaffe, bit of a mess of it. Um, I thought that Ramsdale might have saved that penalty. Kane, they're England. Ramsdale's in the England setup, so even though he didn't get in the game over the international break, like he
Right.
did practice with Kane. So I'm imagine he's tried. They've taken penalties against one another,
A PK or two. Right. Right.
and so Kane does something I haven't seen in a while. Goes right down the middle, right down the middle there, gets the goal. And then for the rest of the half, it was pretty even. It was actually an even game, I thought.
Yeah.
Uh, and we looked slightly rattled, which is a bit worrying. A bit worrying. But other than that, perfect day. You love to see the howler from Lloris.
Right.
Um, the red card obviously helps, but this is a horrifying challenge. Again, I'm
I mean,
biased and was screaming at the television.
it's 2-1 before the red.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a huge and a momentum shift for Tottenham to already be in the hole and they get put further in the hole. I just think it's funny that we always reference this next five
Mm-hmm.
in
Definitely.
literally after the red, 3-4 minutes later, you're banging one through the net and taking full advantage and showing them you want to play us with 10, we're going to punish you. But you had
Yeah,
all
it
been
was
like
great.
you already hit the nail on the head. You've been playing you all played well the entire first half. I felt like the entire first half was all y'all. But with that being said, that was Tottenham's game plan. So, but that was that was Tottenham's game plan going into that to feed y'all, to let y'all have that possession, to let y'all have that control to sense. So because they wanted to pop one on you. But
Mm-hmm.
as soon as that red card came about, you had already been in control of the game. They have to switch their entire game plan, which then you see because Antonio's not going to sit back. You see what, 7? I mean, I say 7, but they used 15 subs immediately. It was
Well, the thing about the subs is if you look at each one of them, it was beautiful. It was beautiful to see. I mean, we've spoke about it before on the pod. They have no plan B. They
yeah,
don't
right,
they don't
right,
really have a plan B. And so when those subs came on, like I put it in my notes and when I texted you about it, I love to see the subs from Conte signaling the give up because his subs
right.
were all
Yeah,
defensive.
yeah.
They were all
Yep.
defensive subs. I mean, he took Richarlison and Son off and put on a couple of teenagers. Like
It,
Kulichevsky was injured, and so there was some people that I'd never seen come into the game, and I'm like, so they're just gonna limp out of here with a whimper with their tail between their legs. I was
right.
pumped. I was like, I guess they're just trying to not give 7 goals.
Goal
It was
difference, right? Yeah, well, fine. We're not gonna walk out of here. Right. Conte's like,
Yeah,
I'm not losing my job at Arsenal, so you know what? We can't bleed too bad. Like,
I was I was shocked. I mean, I was shocked that that's the way that went down. So happy. Absolutely loved to see that. I was very and
I
then,
expected it. I expected. I mean, I just felt like y'all, like you said, literally, even before the early goal, I felt okay. Well, this is Arsenal's game to lose,
mhm.
and I just felt like it. I just felt like it was not I knew it was not gonna be a grind, and I don't think anybody in the stands or watching that game like, oh, this is gonna be a 1-0. It's no, like it
No,
had.
North London derbies are never 1-0ers.
Y'all should have punished them a little bit more. I felt, but
You can
you know,
always say that.
I
You can
don't
always say
think the
that.
score line 3-1 does not. What I'm trying to get at is
That's what
3-1.
I predicted.
It just doesn't go to how much y'all were in control of that game. I felt like y'all. I feel like that score line, 2 goals does not. While huge in a London derby, 2 goals, like you're gonna talk, mad smack for the rest of the week, and
You're damn right we are.
see each other later down. But y'all won that game by more than 2 goals. Y'all handled Tottenham, and it was a huge
Hmm.
test for them. It was good to see them come up against a high firing team, and y'all did exactly what you should have done because of the way y'all been playing.
Absolutely. And if you actually take a look at the goals, first off, everybody that analyzed this game beforehand, the inclusion of Thomas Partey in the team is vital. It's key. Like we're a different side with Partey in the team, and then he goes and scores that goal.
Yeah,
Sick.
yeah.
Um, I love to see that. And then obviously it was just the most beautiful howler you've ever seen from Hugo Lloris for the tap in for Jesus, and then he goes off and does the Henri slide. And don't get me wrong, I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan. I was pumped. I was screaming. It was great.
Right. Absolutely.
But bro, it's a tap in, and he goes in and does the Henri slide like
It's a
he's
it's
just
a
beaten City 4-0. Like, come on, all right, all right. But
he
hey, I
just
was
hit a
pumped. I
like
was
he just
pumped
hit a
about it.
bike top 90. No, I get it,
Yeah,
but still, no,
I loved it. I loved
you
it.
have to because it's you can celebrate any goal you want to when it's that type of rivalry.
Yeah, that's fair.
It does
That's
not
fair.
matter the type of if
I
own
would be
goal
losing my mind. If it's
if
me,
you
I'm losing
ricochet
my
off
mind.
right, if you ricochet off the post and it hits someone right in the back of the shorts and it
Yeah,
bounces
and then bounces off my face and goes in.
right.
I'm
No,
playing.
no, I'm still losing my mind. No,
Oh
that's a
yeah,
goal.
I'm going to
That's a
dive into the crowd like an NFL player.
right,
I'm
right.
jumping
No,
over the
yeah,
stands.
you're gonna have to get me out of the
Full
stands, right?
full rock
We got a
star
card.
crowd surf me around the
Yeah,
stadium.
I'm gonna catch a card for sure. Delay a
Oh
game,
yeah.
unsportsman, all of it. Catching a
I
card.
might get too different. I might get sent off for my celebration.
Right.
Yeah, I understand completely. The celebrations I was doing in my living room would have gotten me sent off, that's for sure.
Been there, right.
Oh my God. And then gonna go ahead and give out my For the Badge Man of the Match Week award early in the episode, and you're not gonna believe it. You're not gonna believe who I'm gonna give this to,
Okay.
knowing the history this man has. Granit Xhaka comes in with the most captain's-like performance we've seen from him ever. And he doesn't even have that. I mean, he did finish the game with the armband. So when Fabio Vieira came in and Odegaard went out, Xhaka has the armband. But a bunch of different things. First of all, he's been so resurgent this season. They finally found his
Right.
spot, the where he fits,
Right.
where he is able to do his best. Did you know that he's got maybe one, maybe two yellow cards all season?
Wow.
Hasn't even gotten close to getting a red card, which, he's worth, last season, I thought he was going to get one every game,
Right.
and it's because he's got the new box to box role where he doesn't have to play as much defense, and he's absolutely thriving, absolutely eating it up. Um, it's worth mentioning that he's always fit and available, always healthy. He doesn't go, he's
Yeah.
He's got an engine to go forever. Definitely is shades of Aaron Ramsey. I'm so happy to see his comeback. Um, and if you look at right when Partey scored, everybody's flipping out. Everybody's going crazy. He immediately, not Odegaard, but Xhaka immediately grabbed everybody in a circle. And just like you said, I guarantee the first words out of his mouth, just like you said, were first five. First
Yeah.
five. We do not let up.
No.
We do
No.
not back down. We keep going. Yes,
Yep.
we just scored a magnificent goal. Yes, we're on top. We don't let
Don't
up.
let it up. No.
And
No,
that
because
was
you got
they had just scored.
yep.
It was
Yep.
it
'Cause
was
you
great
got
to see.
deadly players on the other side. I mean, Kane's goal. I mean, like I thought
I mean the penalty was a good the penalty was I mean it's a good move, but we know that's what they have. We know that's what they have. And
right, and yeah, right. I think Richarlison's having a little bit of trouble finding his place.
I mean, he's so different from Kulichevsky. He offers them something so much different than Kulichevsky.
Right.
And I guarantee if Kulichevsky was fit, he would have started instead of Richarlison.
Mm,
Richarlison just doesn't play the defense that Kulichevsky will.
right.
And Son and Richarlison had to work so much defensively. Um, and then I love the YouTuber. His name is Babs14. I watched some of his stuff. He's an Arsenal fan. He was talking about how Saliba put Kane in his pocket. That was great. Willie Saliba, you can't say enough about how amazing this man has been for us coming back in off the couple loan spells in France. He looks, when I told you, and we'll get to the Chelsea game, but I told you how I thought Reece James looks so casual. You know,
Right.
There's
Right.
shades of that with Saliba, but and you said this that for James it's confidence. He's got it. Saliba, that's what I saw, the confidence in this game. There was
Right.
no anxiety. You didn't see he's not panicking. It's
Yeah, there's no
flipping Harry
panic.
Kane. It's flipping
Right.
Harry Kane coming at you.
Right.
One of the best in the league, one of the best in all of England, uh, and he's just calm, cool as a cucumber. You love to see that. Had a fantastic game, but I think the standout for me was Xhaka. He got the third goal, took it, like Harry Kane himself, you
Right.
know, no problems, right in the corner, easy as you like. Go and scream with the fans. Perfect day. Still on top. I know we haven't played City yet, but all we can do is beat who's in front of us.
Yep.
And I think we do have a huge match against Liverpool, and we'll look at that later on in the pod. But we move on to Selhurst Park. What'd you think?
Man, I I was very worried at the beginning of that game.
Yeah, I would be too. You're down 104 minutes into the game.
Very worried that we had lost the. It's all been doom and gloom. Like every analyst, there's a lot of change going on, and
Bit of a
that's
here we go again moment.
right. And it was as soon as that happened, it was just like, you know what? Yeah, take full advantage. I want everyone to be on their horse, take full advantage. If we're down like this, everyone should come out like just like that and try to take
Oh yeah,
advantage.
there's no fear factor. No one's scared at
Right.
all.
Right. And that's something we've lost because of all of this dumpster fire, this mayhem, this circus that's going on over here.
I
It
actually, when I saw the lineups, I changed my prediction on the predictor app that I'm playing
wow.
on. When I
Yeah.
saw the lineup from Vieira, I was like, oh, they're going to score goals. And I had it at a 1-1. I switched it. I was like, this will be a 2-2. There'll be goals in this game. Um,
Right. I
almost
mean,
got it.
you were not far off, man. They could have easily had to. That's
Yeah.
that's that's low ball. Like
But
they
you knew that.
missed.
You knew that going in. You knew that they
Right.
had goals, especially at home.
Yeah, and it's just that, man. We did not start that game, and we really were shaky all up until Aubameyang and the whole controversy with Silva, the play before it, and everything like that. We were really struggling. We really struggled with keeping the ball in the midfield. We really struggled with battling for the 50-50 ball. We really struggled with
I thought
connecting.
y'all were improved though. I thought y'all looked better. Honestly, looked better than you have all season. For longer. I'll actually make the point that I've made to you before. Y'all can't seem to put 90 minutes together. You can't seem to put a whole performance together, and you always seem to start real slow. But it does seem to take a goal against sometimes to kind of get y'all going. And so you're down 5 minutes into the game. I think there was a little bit of a, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We better go ahead and we better pick this up a little bit.
Hey guys, this is Chris. Yeah, right. We're playing Crystal Palace. We're down 1-0. 5
Yeah,
minutes.
we're already down. This is not good.
Right.
I do think that they have bought in though to the to Potter's designs and his formation. Obviously,
I'll give Potter that because I mean, even coming in, Potter makes himself out to be a likable guy.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Like that's how he did it. Like that's how his he's come out and said it in interviews and stuff. Like, I mean, he has a major in like personal communications or something like that.
Really?
So like, yeah, it's some type of
Sure.
intercommunications between, and then he just applies that into stuff. But so he like makes himself out to be a likable guy, whereas like I get it, Tuchel is respected. Like you're
Yeah.
going to play his formation, or he'll field a 17-year-old. He does not
Yeah.
care.
Tuchel had a lot of favorites. You could see
Right.
with his
And
constant selection.
and if you did not jive with him, like Marcus Alonso got punished. Marcus Alonso did not
That's
need
sad.
to leave.
That's
Right.
sad, man.
Did not need to leave our like you know how much Marcus Alonso has won with our club?
Dude, if y'all could put Alonso behind Sterling
And just let him fill that midfield
instead
space.
of Fofana,
Dude.
instead of an old Aspilicueta,
Dude.
I you know, yeah.
I mean, he did, but and it's funny because like I had the same feelings about Mao. I loved Mao, but Mao lost. If you lose the locker room, no matter how much we like you as fans, no matter how much you've won, you could have won. You could have won a treble last year. Once you lose that locker room, I mean, those players are not going to play for you.
Mourinho is such a big personality though. He's always like, I'm the biggest personality in the room.
That's why he fits in down there at Roma,
I'm the
man.
special one. You know.
Right. That's why he fits in down there at Roma. Like, that Italy's for him.
I don't know. He brought Tammy in. I just watched the Roma versus Inter highlights. That was crazy. Dybala with a nasty goal. That was awesome.
Nasty goal. Yeah, beautiful one
Yeah.
touch on that.
But go ahead.
That leads me to I was actually going to ask you, but I wanted to save it for this conversation too. Aubameyang scores his goal, sets us apart, gets us going.
He needed that.
Right. He needed it. Silva kind of got a boost from that. We kind of took control of this game. Okay, now we're back in it. Like you said, sometimes it takes a goal to really get our engine started. After that, Aubameyang was firing. Sterling should have had. Sterling and Havertz both should have
It's a
capitalized.
story of his life, man.
Havertz had a one-on-one, pure, just beautiful. All he had to do was just curl it into the back.
That's the story of both of their lives, man. Right. Yeah,
Sterling had multiple opportunities where they just left him in space. He didn't take. There were so many times where he should have taken the shot and didn't. Like where he just had space.
He's so used to Pep's false nine tiki taka from last season that he's like, let's pass it in.
Yo, and that's the problem that I've had with like a lot of like watching these games moving forward and week in, week out. We are scared to shoot the ball. Gallagher would like. Hats off to him.
Yeah.
I would not have ever
takes a shot and gets a laser beam.
I would not have ever taken that shot because just you can't even see the goal. But my man was just like, you know what? You came in to rip one, bud. Like,
yeah, it's a real interesting approach because there were a ton of long diagonal balls, but when you won the second ball, you could tell they were trying to pass and move. They were trying to play. They were trying to make these intricate runs, these intricate connections. They just. I mean, he's skipping the midfield.
Right.
Skipping Jorginho and Conte and Kovacic. I mean, okay, yeah. when they're not doing great, and Kovacic is the really kind of guy with the ball handler, good passer in there. Okay, as long as you win the second ball.
Yo,
If,
and Mount,
if you don't win the second ball, you're never gonna have the ball.
right? And Mount missing a 7-yard, bro.
That was cool. You don't see that very often. The referee deemed that a pass back, and when you look at it, when you look at the first replay, the guy who passed it back to him, his reaction says it all because he's like, "Oh,"
He's like,
and he's like, "Oh, I shouldn't do that."
oh no, 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 no,
No, that wasn't
no,
a pass. It was a deflection. It was a deflection.
deflection, deflection.
I tripped and it hit a blade of grass, and no. Yeah, you don't see that very
Yo,
often.
no, no, yeah, like where were we playing? Where the grass, where they were like, who was it?
Oh, we've played on some doozies, man. We've played on dirt before. Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez, but yeah, and when he missed a 7-yard PK, or he didn't even put it on, like, at least put it on target. You
I
can't
mean, he
miss.
goes near post, and I understand, but there's three guys literally standing in the goal right there.
Oh, yeah,
You got to come up with something a little bit more clever. They put
a
their
little
whole
more
team
clever,
on the line.
a little more clever, right?
They had five guys standing on the line, so you got to figure something out. But I
I
still
felt
think that the one of the biggest moments in this game that could have sunk y'all, you really got away with one. I really think he got so lucky.
I think, and again, I'm a little biased, sure. Watching the different replays from it now, I truly think that is like he did that because he thought it was a foul. Because he
That
went
doesn't change it. Doesn't
he went
change anything.
through him. Well, they do teach you, and they tell you, you'll see guys, they fall on the ball, like they grab the ball, they get wrapped up in the ball, they want to keep it with, so therefore they know it stops play.
It wasn't a foul against Eze. He didn't touch him. Do you remember the game? Do you remember the game where I was running at the goalkeeper and the goalkeeper let it go by him, tried to do a move and fell over, and I
Yeah,
leaped over him and put my
right.
hands up like I didn't touch him and started to run for the open goal, and the ref's like, "You threw your hands up. You had to have touched him." I was like, "Oh
Oh
my
my gosh. Yep.
God." I was so mad that day.
Yep.
You know, this one, he knows what he's doing here.
Oh
I
yeah.
think in the split second moment, he's like, I'm willing to take this one and hope and just pray the refs lenient. On the two Robbies, Robbie Musto was talking about how he thinks Fofana would have gotten back to kind of Harry Eze when he goes to take the shot. They were talking about how he was going to have to dribble around Thiago's hand if he
Yeah.
doesn't throw it out to stop the ball. So it's very subjective, but he says it's not quite a goal scoring opportunity. There's too
Yeah,
much
right.
work
It's
to
not a
do.
clear path or whatever, however that verbiage
Yeah,
is.
I
It's not
disagree 100%.
a
How long does it take a good forward in the Premier League to just do a little cut catch and he's in? Bam. Just right by him and he's in. One touch to the inside, he cuts across. I mean, I would have scored. I feel like I would back myself,
right.
especially with Eze's speed, to get around Silva, hold off Fofana, and score the goal. I personally think that is a denial of goal scoring opportunity. It's clearly an intentional handball, whether he thought
Oh,
he should have gotten the foul or not.
right.
So
That's where I justify the yellow. I truly do. I
yeah,
just think in Thiago, like I'm giving Thiago Silva, like you said, he knows what he's doing. And with that, I would want whether it was I'm gonna take the red for the team and hope this, or like I felt if I was Thiago and I had taken that touch and placed my body in the way like that, and you were to come through my shoulder, like I understand that it is a loose ball. He
yeah,
doesn't have complete possession of that. It's a horrible touch. So it
hmm
is his ball. But I think whenever he went to position that and he came around him in that manner, to make him fall, or however his feet got tripped up, whatever the case may be. I would rather it be Thiago thought, I'm going to stop this play he has to make a decision whether it's me messing this up or him coming through me. And
well, consider this. What if he slaps Eze in the knee instead of grabbing the ball, and Eze keeps going, but that little pause has given Fofana enough time to get back.
Right, and that's where I think the yellow card was issued, because it wasn't. It's not intentional enough to where like.
It's all about goal scoring opportunity. It was 100% intentional. He 100% knew what he was doing. It's all about whether the ref believed that Fofana was going to get back or not.
Yeah, which I don't think so. Fofana's not that.
He is. I mean, he does have the speed. He wasn't getting back to that.
That's what I'm saying.
He's not getting back to that.
Not getting back to that.
Also, I will make the point that when VAR takes a look at this, they finally ruled it to the letter of the law. I think it should have been a red. Sure, the ref didn't. Gives the yellow. You cannot argue that it's a clear and obvious error. You can't. It's a very subjective kind of call, and it's going to be the same when he goes to look at it on the monitor. So I think the VAR, fair play to the VAR this time. It wasn't a clear and obvious error. Nope, we're happy with the yellow. We play on. But yeah,
lucky. The next play.
Lucky. But I do remember when Conor Gallagher is coming onto the field and they sub him on. Worth mentioning that Pulisic comes on at the same time.
Yep, to give the assist.
And so Graham Potter looks a genius. I do remember the commentators saying the script is there to be written because obviously Gallagher had such a good spell last season with Palace. The Palace fans loved him. Comes in, hits the Articuno ice beam. Class doesn't celebrate against the old club.
I did like that.
Class. I mean, what can you? Wow, what a goal this is! You love to see that.
The last time Conor Gallagher was on our pitch, he missed a PK.
Oof. Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody at Chelsea needed that one. Great for the Bowley Shore for sure. I think I think the importance of this win cannot be understated.
Right.
I know it's Palace, but to kind of get y'all going, get rolling. Not for nothing, Potter's undefeated. I think that you still have to learn to put a 90-minute performance together.
I would agree. We can't play 60 minutes.
Yeah.
We can't.
You're not City. City can do that. You can't.
Right. Well,
Chelsea can't.
City was up 4 goals by 30 minutes.
Yeah. That's actually a pretty strong segue. So we'll go ahead and skip down to that one, and then we'll come back to the other Saturday games. Again, kind of exactly what I was expecting from City.
I didn't expect it to get that bad that fast.
No.
Not that fast.
I really thought United would offer more. But I was very, very worried when the lineups came out. You have to sacrifice. I think, and hindsight's 2020. When I originally looked at it, I figured they would find a way. And I figured substituting Casemiro for McTominay would have been enough. But in hindsight, I think you may have needed to. Like maybe axe. So hard to take Eriksen out of that team, but they got absolutely mauled in the midfield. Just they got mauled all over the place, wrecked. It was all about Martinez on Haaland, Martinez versus Haaland. Dude,
bro.
Rafael Varane was marking Holland, and he
Yo,
and
there
he
was,
got and he looked like a child, and then he had to limp off injured.
and that's honestly probably that's one of one of my biggest takeaways was I think, and it's so I don't know whether or not know if Manchester United was that bad, but this was probably the best I've seen of Ian Holland looked.
I mean, he's a machine. He's
Right.
he's an
I know
alien.
he scored some really great goals.
He's a
And like,
freak, dude.
like this was the game where he looked like he literally everything he touched, he knew where it was going. He had complete control, and he like finally stepped into this. Okay, I'm not just here to score goals. He's literally eating every part of this. He was doing whatever he wanted so much to where he gave Phil Foden a hat trick. It
Yeah.
wasn't like he assisted. It's not like he couldn't have took those shots himself. He lined up Phil Foden on a freaking rope on a beautiful curling on the ground for Bruno.
Holland's tied for fourth in the league for assists.
Yo, it's
For assists.
I am so you don't understand how
Not to
upset
mention his 14 goals.
you don't understand how upset I am that we bought Romelu Lukaku instead of Aaron Holland last year. We were unwilling to spend $200 million.
That might be the mistake of Roman Abramovich's entire time at Chelsea.
He was out. He was gone. He
Oh, he wasn't
checked
even
out.
around? He wasn't
He was
even
checked
around this
out.
time?
He was checked out.
Oh my God,
He
man.
knew he was going to lose the team.
Oh, bro, that might be one of the biggest mistakes he ever made for Chelsea.
Yo,
Because if he could have, if he would have signed Holland,
we'd be stupid.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you can put Holland on anybody, they'd be monstrous. But if
I
y'all
think
would
we
have
have a
signed,
better midfield. Given
you would
Kevin De
just,
Bruyne, I think we have a better midfield than they do. I think we have an entire better setup back to front until we get to our forwards than
dude,
Manchester City.
don't get ahead of yourself. Just
I'm
like I
not.
said, just like I said to Brendan Rodgers, you won one game.
I'm not.
Come on,
Look at the same team we lined up against them in the Champions League final. Those two squads are not that different. You know what's different? The forwards.
dude. Y'all can't. No.
We've done it.
Who? No. I'm sorry, man.
No,
Bernardo Silva is way better than Kovacic, than Conte, than Jorginho, than Loftus-Cheek. De Bruyne is miles better than all of them combined. You know, Rodrigo, dude, you would give your left leg to have Rodrigo playing center defensive mid for you guys right now. That y'all cannot compete at any position, maybe not even any position on the field with Manchester City. I'm sorry, you just can't.
we have
But in the
better.
Champions League final
Reece
or in the
James.
Champions League last season, the Champions League is just so different. It's such a special competition. You always get up for those games, especially in the knockouts. They're always crazy games. So that little bit of edge gives it a little bit different. But on paper, you can't match that. You cannot match their squad. Not in any spot. I would pick every single City player over
No
every
way.
single.
James is better than
Maybe
Kyle
Reece
Walker.
James.
No, Reece James is better than Kyle
Maybe
Walker.
Reece James. Kyle Walker doesn't play.
Silver's
Kyle
better
Walker
than
doesn't
Ake.
play. If Stones isn't injured, Kyle Walker doesn't play.
Stones is better than Ake, or Silva is better than Ake.
No.
Any given day.
I'd take Ake. I'd take Akanji over Silva. Silva's so old, man. He's just old. He's 38 years old, dude.
Bro, Silva's still playing like a beast.
Since when? He's lucky. He was lucky to be on the field yesterday on Saturday. He was lucky to stay on the field the whole time.
We don't have a plan B if he goes
The
off.
wind blew him over, and you're claiming that he should have had a foul. The wind blows him over, and he grabs the ball. Nah, man.
Yeah. I would have done
Silva's done, dude.
the same thing.
You
I
know
would
what?
take
You know why Thiago Silva is still playing? There's one reason why he's still playing. Why he agreed to the contract at Chelsea.
what?
He wants to be in the World Cup squad, man. He wants another World Cup. That's the only reason.
He wants to
He's
win a World Cup.
38 years old, man. Why do you think Ronaldo's still running around? Why
They
do you think
might win a
Ronaldo's still
World
running
Cup.
around? Oh
They
yeah,
might win a World Cup.
they've got the squad for sure. But why do you think Ronaldo's still running around, 38 years old? He wants that World Cup. It's the only thing he hasn't gotten. You know, he wants it. That's why he's still around. You know, I think so many of the older generation can say the same thing. It's like this is the last go at it. We had to take the contract from 2, 3 years ago. You know, wherever we could get playing time. And Silva, yes, he's been
Squad.
great. Yes, he's a
Right.
legend. Yes, he's been really good for you guys. But I mean,
If I was Silva,
age is just
honestly,
catching up with him.
honestly, well, yeah, I mean, honestly, you have no other argument but the one you presented because the perfect time to walk away for Thiago Silva would have been right after he got what he wanted his entire club career, which was a Champions League final. And he could have
Yeah,
deuced out and been done and still
and had
gone
a
down as
sterling
one of the
career. Had
greatest.
an
And
amazing
still
career.
gone down as one of the greatest.
Yeah, I think.
I think you're right. I think he's. I mean, and he'll be on that World Cup squad. They won't leave him
No,
alone.
he'll definitely be on the squad. But getting back to what we were saying, you, maybe Reece James. Maybe I take Reece James, but you have no one. You have no one that I'm taking. Even Phil Foden. Even Phil Foden, who I think it just gets overshadowed because he's short
Right.
and Holland is a giant.
Yeah, Jalen's just a
No.
monster.
Um, there's no one scoring goals for y'all that I'm taking over Phil Foden.
There's just no way. I'm taking Reece James. I'm taking Kubli over Cancelo all day.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Oh yeah. I'm taking Chilwell.
No, over nobody. There's no one you're taking
Actually,
Chilwell over
honestly,
on the city team.
I've liked the way Cucurella has played for us more than Chilwell.
Cuckoo's got a shout.
Cuckoo, I mean, that's an
He's
easy.
a for the badge man. He works his ass
Oh,
off. You love to see that. He's been one of your best players all season for me.
a healthy Kovacic, if we could get him healthy, and a healthy Conte's over the hill. I'll give you that. Even healthy, he's over the hill. Put a healthy Kovacic. I'll give you De Bruyne, maybe Silva, but Guduan's hitting the bench if I have to choose between him and Kovacic.
Not a chance.
Oh yes,
Not a
yes.
chance.
Oh yeah. You don't like Georgie, I do, but I don't think you like.
I'm taking Gundogan over both of them.
Mm, not Kovacic. I'll take Guduan over.
Gundogan came in and played center defensive mid.
Sure.
Rodrigo was injured or whatever, picked up a knock, whatever. Gundogan come in. That was the team. It was Grealish, Holland, Foden, Silva, De Bruyne,
De
Gundogan.
Bruyne.
Y'all don't have a front six. Y'all don't have a front six that's better than that. That
No.
can touch that. You just don't. I'm maybe. I will give you that Kovacic and Gundogan are close. But other than that, there's no
I mean, no,
chance.
I'm not sitting De Bruyne. De Bruyne. I mean, that was one of the biggest things I think we let. That was one of the another one. One of the things we will always regret.
Out of your mind to sit De Bruyne.
I'm
Dude,
saying out of our mind to let go of
Erling
De Bruyne.
Holland is not even number one on that team sheet.
We should have never let go of De Bruyne.
Dude, Erling Holland is not even number one on their team sheet every week. Kevin De
You think
Bruyne, Kevin De Bruyne is irreplaceable. He's magic, dynamite. He's absolute gold. Pick your
he put
superlative.
he puts it on a
He
rope, right?
dude, when he gets the ball and sees Holland running down the back, you could.
It's done.
I just wonder if, like, in his head, when he looks down to put in that absolute
Beautiful
dirty
ball,
ball across the
right?
box, he's just
Oh, he's like,
thinking,
oh, I can hit that giant.
cha-ching,
Yeah,
cha-ching,
yeah, I can hit that giant now. Yeah,
like, my man,
right,
I could laser beam this at 90 miles an
right,
hour, and
right.
he'll come in out of
He'll
nowhere.
go get it. Whereas
Latana,
Sergio Aguero, we're like look at who he used to be playing with, and he was still good.
oh
Now
god,
you've
yeah,
doubled the size of his target.
right. Yeah,
Like,
you can hit it just within this huge 10-yard area, and
then here now,
somehow,
right?
some
It's
way, he's
so
gonna sprout wings and karate kick it into the goal. Like,
no, but I do give him mad respect though. I think Holland after he got what he wanted, which was a hat trick, he was like, all right, I'm gonna feed, like I'm gonna help Foden out. Like you could tell he kind of was like, oh, I don't need it anymore, and started playing a
it's so nice. It's so nice to see. I don't know if you've watched any of the post match and any of the interviews and anything. He's 22 years old. He's super humble and he's hungry, man.
right,
It's scary. When they asked him, "How are you feeling right now after you've just scored, you know, the first hat trick for City in a Manchester derby, in like 60 years or
right.
something?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'm happy with the win. We played good. We could have had a couple more. I'm just happy that the team's doing so good. That we're really working, and it's a good result. And I was like, if that's Cristiano Ronaldo, he gives a little wry smile and he's like, yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
But
Another day at the office. Right.
one of the, I mean, it's just, what do you say about this one, man? It's just the toughest thing that City had to deal with all day long. Who gets the match ball?
Yeah.
Foden or Holland? I mean, seriously, it was. I just did not expect United to not show up at all.
Yo,
At
and
all.
I was about to say we haven't even touched on that part of it. Like, yeah, we've been talking about how good City is. How bad, and that's another thing that I'm giving Holland another like nod for is because Rafael Varane is supposed to be one of the greatest defenders
Yeah, right now, yeah, he's
right
supposed to
now.
be.
So in
He's
the
had a
last
great
five,
career.
six
He was
years,
great at Madrid. Great at
right? In
Madrid.
the last 5, 6 years, he's probably been one of the greatest. It's like at least top 10 in the center back position. If he did that to Rafael Varane, a
No one's
healthy
stopping him. No one's
right?
stopping him. Like I feel like the Holland to score bet is a shoo-in every game.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It
If
doesn't.
whoever picked them on their dream team is just absolutely.
He's on everyone's fantasy squad, dude.
Yeah, you gotta be.
If you didn't put him on your fantasy squad, you're just an idiot. You're straight up. You're not trying to win.
I felt like De Gea did not stop trying. I felt like he literally some of those he didn't even dive for.
I mean, he's subpar at best, bro. He's
I felt
terrible.
I felt like their midfield had an
But you
absolute.
can't say anything about De Gea. I mean, it's not on De Gea. They got wrecked, dude.
Well, you're just
They
raining
didn't.
in. You're just raining. How many shots on goal do they have? Jesus.
Who knows, man? What's so scary to me though is they did not come out of the locker room.
22 shots. They had 22 shots.
They didn't come out for the second half. Like it's
No.
so scary. It's so ridiculous. We were talking about how Chelsea can't put a 90 minutes together. City don't need to.
Right. Right.
It's so scary, man.
Anthony's goal was no joke. It was beautiful. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
the first one, it was
good for
beautiful.
him.
Yeah. Beautiful goal.
But I mean, it doesn't mean a thing at all.
Nope.
City were not at it in the second half.
No.
And yet, on the one hand, great. Yes, they can ship goals when they're not trying at
Right.
all. But and we've mentioned how they haven't really seemed to hit their best yet all season. First half, they hit that. Yeah,
They hit
that was
that
the
was it.
heights,
That was it.
and they were so good. They're like, yeah, we don't even. I mean, I'm sure Pep is pissed. I'm sure Pep Guardiola wins 6-3 in a Manchester derby, and he's pissed that they gave 3 goals and totally let up. Imagine if they hadn't have let up.
Oh, it would have been
10-0. They would have won 10-0. And so,
Yeah.
I want to say Willie Saliba is going to be able to handle him. I want to say Willie Saliba is going to kick him, and it's going to be good. That's what my heart wants to say.
Mm.
Yeah, we'll get to that when it comes around. We won't go there. We won't invite the nightmare until it comes around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll move on. We'll go back to some of the Saturday games. Liverpool Brighton. What a game that was.
That was the next one I was going to want to talk about. Yeah, it was the
Yeah.
Liverpool Brighton game. I was shocked by both how well Brighton came out.
Why? Same old Brighton.
I thought Liverpool was going to I'm just waiting for Liverpool to turn on one day.
Everybody is.
Like that's not how Liverpool plays. And we expect more from Klopp, we expect more from that team, we expect more from the guys that they've brought in. And it's just like they have not found this. I mean, I want to say they're in kind of the same boat we are. They just don't know where the glue is now. They don't have a.
I think one of the guys on the I watch so many different networks. One of the analysts was saying how Liverpool are really missing Sadio Mane. Not
Right.
because of his goals, but because of how much he pressed and how good he was in the press for them. Um, the guy mentioned that when Mane's up there pressing, Trent Alexander-Arnold doesn't have to do as much defense because he doesn't get caught out as much. Van Dijk doesn't get caught out as much because there's not as much time on the ball for their opponents.
Right.
And that's one thing that was a hallmark of Liverpool last season. Just the ridiculous press, the relentless, in your face, high intensity press that they do not have this season. Uh, for me, you said they seem to be a bit lucky. I think they were very lucky in this game, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
Yeah.
Not necessarily with specific moments, but I was thinking about it just a little bit ago while I was watching the Milan highlights, how Milan played Empoli at the weekend, a team that has never beaten them at home.
Yeah.
And they struggled. They definitely struggled a bit. Uh, but I thought to myself on their first goal, I was like, yeah, you can struggle and struggle, but Leao comes in with just a moment of quality, just a great player comes in with a moment of quality, breaks open the game. Bobby Firmino gets to start this time out. I mean, there were two players on Liverpool had a good game, and he was one of them.
Yeah.
Quick feet, silky smooth touch, cool as a cucumber in the box. Um, I hate Liverpool as much as the next guy, but I don't hate Firmino. I think he was great in
Right.
this game, and I think if not for his quality, they might have taken a 3-0. They might have just lost this one in embarrassing fashion. Because before they got their goal, it not could have, should have been 5-0.
Yes.
Brighton
Yo.
had so many chances in that first 30 minutes.
And it's funny that I might throw this out there, but I think I'm giving my for the badge man of the match to Allison
Oh
for not
yeah.
for
Oh
not
God, yeah.
for not just giving up and shipping goals. To keep your head in it and make some of those
He made
saves.
some incredible saves.
Bro,
Made some
to
good.
be
That was my other person that had a good game. No one else did.
to be mentally still there for your squad like that, to say no more, to put your foot down, to really try to show and lead. I thought he, as bad as it was, I thought he stood on his head because it could have been
Yeah,
worse.
he was fantastic. Definitely kept them in the game. But the players, what's interesting for me that everybody's talking about, oh, Liverpool are injured. They need players to come back in. Well, Thiago was in the game. Henderson started this game, and Fabinho started this game in the midfield. I remember looking up 30 minutes into this game, and I was like, is that Fabinho's first touch? Is that Fabinho in the game? What? I didn't even know he was on the field. Henderson had like 5 or 6 touches in the first half, in the first 30 to 35 minutes. Like they got absolutely passed off the park, and
Right.
it's really good to see. Same old Brighton. Like I said, De Zerbi is the name of the new coach. Comes in from Sassuolo, and also he was at Shakhtar for a year.
Okay.
Um, there's some weird circumstances about him leaving there, but I think that it's going to prove to be really really a keen eye, because I mean, like he said in his interview when they asked him, I didn't really change much, didn't need to change much. We're playing well, we're doing good, and
It's not
I just love to see not just Brighton, anybody go to Anfield and try to play their game, try to be positive, try to win
Yeah,
the match. And it was a beautiful game.
it
Love to
was.
watch it. I think against stiffer opposition, Liverpool can't do that. And we've seen that this season. They came out like that against Napoli and got blown away. If they come out like that next weekend, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be a goal fest, baby. Woo! If they come out and try to play like that against us, you're not saving them, Allison.
No.
We'll put 5 goals past
It's
you.
a different, right. You have a little bit of a different touch of class for strikers. So
Yeah, we're not gonna, especially at the Emirates, we're not gonna
no.
back off on our 2-0 lead and let y'all have the ball. We're gonna shut
No.
it down your throat.
Right.
And that, as evidenced 2 days ago against Tottenham, yeah, because we don't, none of this 1-0 to the Arsenal anymore. We're coming at you,
Right. And
and
that's
it's good to
honestly really
see. I
refreshing
love
to
to
see
see
from
that.
you guys. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think that Brighton are really ruin the misses that they had. Fair
Right.
play, Leandro Trossard with a hat trick, and those first 2 goals, well taken.
Well, yeah.
Um, nice hat trick. Definitely
Right.
gets himself with a gut busting run to get himself on the back post for the equalizer in the 83rd minute. I mean, what can you say? Fair play, Brighton at Anfield. What a game this was. But like I say,
I
yeah,
I felt
lucky.
like it was, yeah, 6 for 6 shots on. Like you said, Allison had a really good game
Yeah,
despite shipping. It's just, I thought Trussard looked dead. I
brilliant,
mean, Liverpool just
brilliant.
let him look deadly. Like,
Yeah, they looked dangerous every time they went forward, for sure. I did want to mention something about uh, Liverpool, their approach, and also about Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's definitely come under a lot of fire this season, understandably so. They, again, just like I was talking about with you guys, they tried skipping the midfield so often,
mhm.
and Thiago was super sloppy. They tried skipping the midfield a whole bunch with those long balls down the wing. And I'll be honest, man, Alexander Arnold just doesn't want to play defense. It just looks like he's done with playing defense.
He
I'm
wants to
serious.
be a winger. Yeah.
I'm serious. Every time they're going forward and he sees an opportunity to get into the attack, I mean, he is haul assing. I mean, he is going screaming into the box, trying to get on the end of the cross, trying to be a part of the attack, trying to receive the pass, get across in, trying to get down the wings.
Yeah.
He gets beat 40 yards from goal, jogs. I mentioned it, like I noted it. I noted it down. When they scored their second goal, Trossard gets by him and passes it off. He doesn't run with him. He jogs. He jogs. No, what it was the second one. No, I think it was the third goal actually, the equalizer, where he gets beat down the line, and the center defender comes over to cover, jogging. He
Yeah.
never got back. He never got back in, and they got scored on. He was walking by the time the ball was in the net. I
Mm,
I I I put my eye on it during the replay. I was like, man,
right.
that's. I mean, and that's not something. And that was like 2 or 3 times in the game. That was not.
It's not
I
something.
just think, and it's something that Potter has tried to address with Raheem Sterling. You notice that, your left center back doesn't ever go forward
Right.
because Sterling doesn't run back. James on the other side goes up and back, up and
Up
back,
and
up
down.
and back,
Right. James will box to box for us.
I mean that's arguably a part of your issue, but that's because he now your right winger is pushed so far in.
Right.
James is, I don't know. I just have an issue with how that kind of messes with your rotation up top, and it kind of leaves Mount and Havertz not really knowing
Where
what
to
to
be.
do.
Right. Where to
Yeah.
be. Right.
Um,
And then
but
just get swallowed up and then lost in translation. And then when they do receive the ball, they either don't have enough space to do what they want to with it because
there's no
Mount
space because you
Mount
got
can't look
three guys on top of each other.
right. And then because Mount, what made Mason Mount great and why he's in our squad is you played him up the ball, you gave him a few feet to where he could turn, and so he could see the passing lane. Because he's supposed to be like a Kevin De Bruyne
Like a
/ Frank
10, a number
Lampard,
10.
like right. I'm gonna curl it in. I'm gonna send you down that line. I'm gonna pass it through. Ball. Like, that's how we won the Champions League. He's like, oh, there's a gap there. Split the defenders. I'm gonna put it right here on a freaking plate for you, and right now he gets the ball, and because of the way we're playing, he gets the ball. He gets the ball with 3 people on him.
Well, also y'all are trying to use 4 players to cover that space with a lot of rotation, which is weird. But it just seems like when Alexander Arnold gets forward and they get the ball in behind him, if I mean he's gonna have to play defense on Sunday.
Yeah.
If Saka gets into that space, 1-on-1 with Van Dijk, 1-on-1 with Matip, yeah, Van Dijk's got it, but I mean, well, he can cause some absolute damage, absolute havoc. Martinelli on the other side, same thing, man.
Same thing. Yep.
They will cause absolute havoc in that space.
It's going to be a fun game to watch. Like, I'm very excited to see. Man.
It's been a long time since you could say, since Arsenal fans can say, hey, Liverpool's coming to town.
Oh, I'm excited to play Liverpool.
Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Like, that's not normally Liverpool's coming to town? There's a 5-0.
I'm glad they're coming to town. Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Come get some. That's what we're saying now.
Right.
But yeah, like I say, they need to pick it up. And everybody keeps expecting them to, but
that's what I'm saying.
I tell you what, if they come to the Emirates and get wrecked, there's going to be huge questions for sure. Yeah. But we'll move on to another one. West Ham and Wolves up next. Before this one, man, I thought it'd be a great opportunity for West Ham, and they were able to take it. I thought Scamacca gets a good goal. He needed that. Jared Bowen gets his goal, and he needed that even more.
It's funny because there were a lot of just absolute, like, there wasn't like a highlight goal of the week this week. It wasn't like, he had the best goal.
Maybe. Maybe.
There was some.
I would argue against that, but
there were some bangers this week.
I get your point. There were some absolute stunners. I mean, Thomas Partey, Conor Gallagher, but we'll get to the best one.
All right.
You know it. I think. Oh yeah, I put in my notes when Scamacca hit his volley. I said, "Whoa!" Like when he hit it, I was like, "Oh!" Ooh. And I knew it was going in immediately. But yeah, I think Wolves subpar. Diego Costa comes in, misses a sitter, golden opportunity with the header in the box. I think he just lacks match fitness. That's why they only played him for half the game. But I think Declan Rice finally had a good game. Better than he's been. He's been good. But I think he definitely controlled this one. Definitely did well for them. I mean, Wolves have built their success around not giving goals. They've struggled always to score, but they weren't awesome defensively this time out. And it results in the coach getting canned. A little bit unexpected for me.
Yep. I mean, I didn't expect it either. When you sent me that text, I was like, wow, that seemed a bit harsh.
I mean, they've not been great recently, to say the least. But it's not like they're shipping goals. It's not like they're Forest. They've been given 18 goals in 5 games.
Forest.
But yeah, just not good enough. And the owners wanted to move on, I guess. We'll see what happens next for them. Diego needs to start scoring. They need to get Raul Jimenez back. Something awful. Stat. Right. They need him so bad. Yeah. So yeah, great opportunity for West Ham. Opportunity taken. Well done. Big 3 points.
I was about to say it's a big 3 points. I know West Ham's been trying to get up there in that Europa.
5 losses already this season. They lost 5 times already this year. Yeah, tough. Been tough.
It is.
But I think it's a big result for them. They'll definitely bounce on from that one. We move on to another interesting game, Leeds and Villa. I thought this was a really physical game. Like, the first half was kind of like touchy almost. where it was so physical that it was tough for anybody to have a lot of quality on the ball. The tackles were flying in. It was, the referee was on the edge of control the whole time. You know,
Holy cow!
I feel
So
like
I didn't get to watch this one, so I just clicked I just went over to the league sheet for it, and it
yeah,
just put up like a freaking road hazard, just yellow and red across the timeline, like one of our FIFA games.
yeah,
Jesus,
dude. Yeah.
bro.
I think something that no one I've in the content I've been consuming recently, no one's really talking about the fact that Stevie G sends out Villa to hurt people, to kick people.
To like just
That's you
he's
saw it in the game
playing
against Arsenal. You saw it in the
he's
game
playing
against yeah, you saw it in the game against City. Mings was trying to wrestle Holland every chance he had.
wrestle Holland, right? He's just
Like,
playing old school Prem League.
yeah, he's like, this is what I know. We're gonna come out and
Stevie G playing old school, yeah.
you're
He's
gonna
like,
have bruises after you play Villa.
right,
You're gonna have
bet.
knocks. It's gonna be some ice baths
He
going
has a
on
bonus.
afterwards.
He has a bonus for who has the most cards.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah,
On the Lolo though, yeah. If you get the
yeah.
most yellow cards this season, yeah, that's a $10,000 bonus. Yeah.
Come see me. You have the new cars waiting for you.
Like Granit Xhaka last season would have been Stevie G's wet dream.
Stevie G's boy.
Just oh my
A
god.
straight
It's
goon.
it's in it's I mean, I don't know what that says about his confidence in their quality. They have
Right.
quality, you know. They I think they had the better of it. I don't know, it's tough to say. I think that they had more crystal clear cut chances. Leeds obviously did make the chances as well. Leeds are a good side. But this one come down to the story of this game is the red card. And this red card is really different. It's different from Royale's. It's different from the one in the there was another one in the Fulham game. Yeah, it's different than Chalaba's red card. His first foul was, yeah, okay. All right, I guess it's a yellow, sure. Man, and I've been singing this guy's praises too. Luis Sinisterra scored a couple of good goals this season. Got a couple of good goals for Colombia, I think. Or is it Venezuela? No, I think it's Colombia. For Colombia in the international break. And then just like if I'm Jesse Marsh and Jesse Marsh sitting out, up in the stands, you know, because of he got banned last game.
Right.
So he's serving his touchline ban this game. And if I'm, oh God, I'm pulling my hair out. I'm absolutely livid. Did you see how he got his red card? Did you see the
No.
second yellow?
Mm-mm. That's what I'm
The
looking at right now.
cameraman, the production team for Peacock didn't even have, weren't, it wasn't even in the shot. That's how ridiculous this is. The camera was pointed somewhere else.
Oh my.
And when he shows the second yellow, I literally looked at Lauren. I was like, what just happened? What's going on? I didn't see anything. You know, he blocked the free kick. They tried to take a quick free kick, and he throws his leg up. You're on a yellow, man. You're a professional. You you know the ref's hands are tied when you do some dumb stuff like that.
It's different if they hit you. It's right. It's different when they hit you with the ball because you're standing too close. When you intentionally,
Yeah.
but I don't
I
know,
honestly
man.
don't even think the ref was looking. I honestly don't even think the ref was looking.
Just had
Obviously VAR intervened,
right.
because you can't get away with anything
I
in soccer
I
these days.
swear you. I mean, I've always been for the one. If you don't call 10, I don't. I don't.
Yeah, that used to be the rule.
Right.
That used to be the rule. If you don't ask the referee for 10 yards, but
If you're just trying
still,
to play the
that
ball,
doesn't
guess
matter.
what? I'm right here.
That doesn't matter at all. He's a professional and he
Right.
knows.
And on a
He
yellow.
knows what's
On a
going to
yellow.
happen if he does
Right.
this.
Right. On
He
a yellow.
knows what's going to happen. He has no excuses. That's absolutely madness.
Right.
Absolute moment of madness. Cost his team. If I'm on the team, you know, he better be glad. He better be glad that his boys were able to hang on and
Yeah,
keep Villa out.
out.
Because if I'm on that team and we ship 4 goals because you took a red card the first minute of the second half, I'm in your face. I'm getting in your face about it. I'm gonna be so mad. Oh man. Like you just can't do it. You just can't do that. And really, fair play to Leeds, but Villa dropped this one, man. Villa dropped this one so hard. I think Stevie G waits too late to put Danny Ings on. Like when he goes down and you got 40 minutes,
Yeah,
you got to heap it on. You have to heap the pressure on. They were there for the taking, man. And it's worth mentioning that Melier in goal was shaky a little bit at times, but he came up big when they needed him. When they needed him to make the saves to save the game, yeah, he had it. And he's young. He's a young keeper. He's got some some interesting moves in him, I'll say. I've seen some flapping around sometimes, but when they needed it, he came up huge. Came up huge. But still, man, if you're Stevie G, you're massively disappointed with this one.
right.
Just you got to take advantage of that, you know, especially on the road like that. You got, I don't know I don't know if they've gotten points on the road this season, but they had to have that one, and it was. I mean, they huffed and puffed, couldn't
Yeah,
blow the house down.
right.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on to that Fulham game, like we mentioned just a minute ago. What an absolute disaster for Fulham. I mean, I know we spoke about it was a harsh one.
I thought it was a bit harsh, but I
I
mean,
mean,
you know the rules. Like
yeah, again, just like Sinistera, it's like, man,
you know the
why
rules.
make the referee make that decision?
Yeah.
Why give the ref the opportunity to make that decision? He's going away from goal,
And
got his back to goal. You don't need to make that challenge.
I've been there. Like I've been that defender. I played central. Like I played sweeper back in high school. Like played left back, like left wing. Like you know you're not. You know when you're late. You know when you're late.
Put your foot down on the ground, give a little slide, take the yellow.
Take the yellow
Don't Liu Kang kick him like
and hit nothing and like just yeah
oh, he
yeah
wasn't even close to the ball. Was not even close. I mean, it's the same thing. These guys are getting paid too much
wait right
for these moments of madness. It's 4 minutes in the
4 minutes
game,
in
bro.
right there is no
Not
need
to
even if you
mention, not to mention when I was watching that, I watched the replay. I didn't watch it live. I watched the Chelsea game live.
yeah
Um, there was a
watch
challenge.
this as
There was a
well
challenge from Chalobah, the same guy, 2 minutes before that, where they VAR checked and he almost got a red for that one. On a really weird and he almost gave a penalty on a really weird, like he followed, it was weird.
yeah
But and then 2 minutes later, you know what? I'd red or nothing, ref. I didn't get my challenge in last time. Let's go ahead and kick the crap out of somebody. You can't do that, man. And it completely ruined this game.
immediately
Again,
capitalize immediately
again,
capitalize
yeah, 3 minutes later, you're down 1-0. If I'm
immediately
if I'm Tim Ream at the back for Fulham, if I'm the captain, if I'm some of their defenders, I'm in your face so
yep
hard at
yep
halftime, man.
now I'm just yep
You might incite me to physical violence at halftime, like for that. I might go slap you. That's just you can't. Just come on, man. Like in my notes say, Newcastle's a stroll in the park, absolute stroll in the park.
easy
Fair play,
weekend
fair play for doing what Villa couldn't.
right
You know, um, and one thing I will say
took
about
complete
this
control of
game,
that game
make it even another horror show. Center back goes down injured and has to come off. Also, Alexander Mitrovic going down injured and coming off. What a day, man. How much can go wrong for you?
yep
That's just so bad. Like, if Mitrovic is out for a while, for, They just went from okay, stout, they're going to be a tough team to okay, we got this.
No, every week
With
they're
one
gonna
player,
they're
one
gonna
guy gone, it's just like their level has dropped so
yeah.
significantly. I really hope he can get over this. It's like a foot thing that he had with Serbia. He still managed to score 4 goals with Serbia, but he's got some kind of foot
Right.
injury, and he walked off the field, so he didn't but it wasn't a contact. He didn't it wasn't a foul. He just
Mm.
off the ball went down or whatever. So that's horrible for Fulham. Yeah, and like you were saying, there were some bangers this weekend. Miguel Almiron with a banger. Oh man.
A
Oh,
second.
oh, I mean, who even tries this? Who even tries that? He's what a goal, what a volley, what a goal, what a player. I've been an Almiron fan since he was at Atlanta United. You
Yeah.
know that. I've talked about him since he
Right.
came to the league,
Right.
from Atlanta. And fair play. Should have had a hat trick too. I mean, he was offsides. So his third goal got counted out. But yeah, way to be. Way to
Right.
be. Good away win for Newcastle. Yeah, so we'll move on to our favorite manager in the league, obviously. Good old Frankie
Obviously.
Lampard
That's it.
getting a big
Big game.
goal, getting a big win.
Big game.
Southampton. Good for you, buddy.
Big game.
This the first half was terrible.
Yeah.
This was not a good first half
No.
from either
No.
team.
Either team.
I was actually laughing when I watched this one. I was laughing at the commentator because the whole time he's just like, is this defending these days in the league? This is terrible. Like he was ragging on him so hard. Um, Nobody was closing down. There was too much space. And even still, the lack of quality was evident in the first half. Um, and then right at the beginning of the second half, Aribo gets a nice goal, and the game comes to life. Just like with Chelsea, sometimes teams need a wake up call.
A wake up call. Hey, today's Saturday. Like,
Yeah, hey, we are
right.
playing. This is
Hey.
a Premier League match. Yeah, yeah. And yeah, come back quick with 2 goals. Southampton can't get close enough. At any point, the commentator was loving pointing that out. He's like, "Oh, easy as you like. Just go on. Here's the space. Get a cross in. Take the shot." Everton hit back with 2 quick goals and are able to hold on. I think despite the goal from Aribo, Southampton still struggled in front of goal. They just not only do they not create enough, they don't have the edge. They don't have that edge in front of goal.
I
I
think
mean,
yeah. I thought it
it's
was a
it's
I
tough.
thought it was a very boring game to watch, even despite the goal.
That was a nice 10 minutes where all the goals came in 10 minutes.
Yeah. I thought it was
Yeah,
very I thought it was a very grindy game to partake and watch
still a
in.
massive win away from home for Lampard. They're like
Right.
11th. They're like launched them to like 11th or something like that.
Yeah, it's huge. It's gonna be
Huge,
huge for
way
him
way up the
staying.
table, way up the
It's
table.
gonna right. It's gonna be huge for him staying, which is where he needs to. If he fighting relegation last year, if he can end up mid-table this year, he'll be fine
Yeah,
at Everton.
sure.
He'll be able to build. He'll be able to. He'll stay. He'll be able to build, and then he can sell us Jordan Pickford, so we
Yeah,
actually have a keeper.
I think the underappreciated player in that Everton team is Alex Iwobi. I'm a
Right.
fan.
No, he's a workhorse.
Absolutely. That's 100% what he is, and that's why here at
Workhorse.
For the Badge, that's the kind of
Right.
man we love.
Right.
I he doesn't have goal threat. I'm sorry, he just doesn't. That's why
No.
we sold him.
Right.
That's why Arsenal sold him because he just doesn't score goals. But he does everything else you need in the midfield, man. He does everything else you need in the midfield. He works hard. He wants to get on the ball and drive forward. I loved that at Arsenal when he was out on the
Yeah.
wing. If he got the ball out on the wing, gave him a little bit of space, he's coming at you.
He's coming at you. He's the ball where he needs
And
to be down in your third. Right.
I love that about him. And I think again had another great game.
Right.
He's having a great season. And
I
then one
think he
last thing. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying, I think and that was the one thing at Arsenal. Like, I don't think he was bad at Arsenal. It's just he has the ability to, and the pressure is not so much over at Everton. Like, he's
Yeah.
coming in. He's really feels comfortable. You can tell he feels comfortable there playing that position for them, where he is getting the ball downfield. He doesn't mind working for them.
He's not looked at to score goals.
Exactly. Yeah, he's not looked at to score goals. He can just play his part and role in the team, and he's going to do it well week in, week out for you. But yeah, no, for sure a workhorse.
Mm-hmm. Another thing I want to mention in that game, I was shocked after Pickford goes down and doesn't get to play for England that Ramsdale didn't get a shot. Especially because Nick, easy to say that after Nick Pope spills a howler, but still, Pickford's performance in this game, like I was even questioning why isn't Ramsdale in ahead of him,
Yeah.
in ahead of Pickford, even a fit Pickford. Pickford had a great game. And so for me, just in my own head, because I know, Southgate obviously doesn't think this way. For me, I was like, okay, all right, yeah, sure. Yeah. Maybe I'm obviously biased about Ramsdale. Ramsdale's young. Uh, Pickford was good in this game. Jordan
Yeah.
Pickford had a good game.
I mean,
And yeah.
these last 8 weeks when I've ever Pickford.
Wasn't he the man of the match versus Liverpool? Didn't we give him the man of the
Yes.
match week
Yes,
versus
I did.
Liverpool? Yeah,
Yes, I did. That
absolutely.
man, that was a showcase. That
Put
was
on his head.
that was a reel. You could have filled a whole ESPN top 10 reel. That man
Has
kept
another good performance in goal.
Yeah.
Yesterday or whenever that
I
was,
would
Saturday.
love I
Yeah.
would love for Frankie to sell him to us when we need one because Mendy's being iffy about his contract.
Man, you could play keeper for Chelsea, dude. No one's talking about that bit either. That's a situation.
It's a situation, right? It's one that's swept under the rug that we don't want anybody talking about
Yeah.
because we don't want people to start raining in shots.
Y'all
On
want to play out the back. Y'all want to play out the back, but neither of your goalies
can do so. Mendy makes bad choices. Kepa is too timid.
He's just bad.
Kepa's too timid.
Kepa's a good stop. He's a good shot stopper.
Right.
Yeah, but anyway, we'll move on to another game that kind of lacked quality, and this one, Bournemouth versus Brentford.
Oh man.
I will say, this game was actually all about Ivan Toney, except for the penalty shout. As far as Brentford goes, it was all about Ivan Toney. He had the chances, and there was one chance where ball comes in over his shoulder, and he hits it one. I mean, he blasts it one time. It probably put a hole in the stands wherever he hit it.
Wherever
Dude,
he hit.
if that hits the back of the net, it's going through it. It's blasting through the net. It was like a half volley where he hit it as soon as the ball hit the ground, and oh man, it was a rip. But I think also Ivan Toney saved 2 points or saved 1 point for Brentford with a header off the line on a corner kick that was in. It was in the goal. I'm like, oh, I even thought the ref was going to call it a goal, and he's able to somehow get his head under it and knock it. I mean, definitely because there was no other goals. Saved a point for Brentford.
Yeah.
But have you looked at that penalty shout?
No.
This was actually significant because it's the first time I personally have ever seen the referee get called to the monitor and then withhold his on the field decision. I haven't seen it. You see that in the NFL all the time. Ruling on the field stands, whatever.
Right.
This is the first time all season or since VAR's existed that I've seen him go to the monitor and then be like, no, I made the right call and uphold his own call. I think you got it wrong though, honestly. Honestly, I mean, it's a real interesting one. I think the reason that he doesn't give the pin is because, like any forward's gonna do in that situation, the forward has to leap over the man, right? He's sliding to go for the ball, and the ball he misses. Like he doesn't miss on the follow through. Like he swings his other leg at it, not in like a scissors fashion, but his other leg comes sliding around and he gets the ball then. But his initial momentum makes the Bournemouth man have to leap over him. And just like any good forward's gonna do, the Bournemouth guy leaves his leg trailing down in the air and then flails like he's been shot when he goes over the man and falls down. So I think because he made so much of a mess of it, made so much of a thing about it. It was super dramatic, and you could clearly see him leaving his leg in. I think
Right.
the rest, like, there's it's just too close for me to overturn it. Um, but I think it's a pin. He takes the man out. He makes the guy leap, and his first challenge doesn't get the ball.
Yeah.
It's he only got the okay, yes, he gets the ball, but he also takes the man out. You can't go through the guy to win the ball. And that's what
Right.
he did. So it's a penalty for me, and if Bournemouth sink it, could have been a different game. But they didn't they didn't do much. This game was also pretty physical, and it was really tough for anybody to get on the ball and put a bunch of passes together. So but yeah, hey, Bournemouth's still undefeated with this interim manager.
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
pin.
Yep. Yep.
Holy cow. No way.
Yep.
That's bad. Both angles. From his actual point of view at the time of the foul and this camera. Bro, that's bad.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was a penalty myself. I mean, it's a close one. It's a tough one. It's a tough one for sure. Yeah.
Mm, yeah, that's a pin for me, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he misses the ball. It'd be different if he hit the ball because he had a step on him. He does. The defender has the ability to get that ball. The fact that he misses and leaves his leg in the air like that, that's a pin all day. That one hurts.
I agree. I agree. That's a pin. Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. But we'll move on to the final Premier League game that's just happened. At the time of this recording, we've just watched Leicester with a 4-0 over uh,
Thrashing over
over the team that has now taken the place of Leicester in every way possible. They're even on the bottom of the table now.
bottom of the table.
They've given 18 goals in 5 games. Have Forest? They've only
Oh
scored
man.
4 in that time. Um, Granted, they've played Arsenal, Tottenham, and City. Um, but I mean, excuse me,
Yeah.
Chelsea, Tottenham, and City. But or no, have they played? I think they have played Arsenal. Regardless, they're not good. They're not doing good. There's
No.
no sugarcoating it. I clearly before the post match interview, I thought Steve Cooper would get the sack. Um, but they missed a breakaway at 0-0. Like, gotta score. Gotta score. All he's got to do. I mean, he takes an awkward shot instead of tapping it around the goalie for the tap in.
Got
Um,
into his head. Yeah.
then there's a then. Oh my God! Then there's one. They're down 2-0, and this is just it hurts. Another
Yeah.
breakaway. Another breakaway. Same guy. Clear on goal. The goalkeeper comes all the way out to the top of the box. That's how much of a breakaway this is. The goalkeeper makes the save 18 yards from goal.
Mm.
And the defender and the forward shoots it right out. Goalkeeper spills the ball to an on-rushing Forest player who has the worst first touch of his life. The literal, I don't even know why you're trying to take a touch. The goal is wide open. The, Literally, there's no one there. Pass the ball into the back of the net. Instead, he takes a first touch that damn near scares the corner flag.
Yeah, Romelu
Oh
Lukaku
my
style.
goodness gracious me right there, man.
Romelu Lukaku style. I love it.
My note here says missed a literal wide open net with the absolute worst touch I've ever seen in professional. Word for word, those are my notes.
Word for word.
And then my very next note is something I can't say on the podcast. But then it says, and they miss another breakaway.
And they miss another way.
They should have scored 3 goals. They should have had 3 goals in this game.
Yeah.
But instead, we'll look to the other side. Gotta give it to them. I told Lauren, I was like, man, I'm kind of disappointed that Leicester picked this up. I wanted to keep ragging on them. It was fun.
Yeah.
They were
Well, I
terrible.
mean, you still can. There's no like big glory in toppling Forest right now.
Yes, that was interesting. It was interesting that I put this down in my notes, and the post-match analysis, one of the guys said the very same thing. Yes, Leicester looked good. They played well. Best performance they've had all season, but they didn't have to play defense.
No, they didn't play anybody.
They didn't have to play defense. They didn't have to be defensively disciplined and sound. And, they have quality. So if they don't have to play defense, they can score goals.
They can
They
just
just I mean, they've shipped a bunch of goals this season too. A lot of people are going to give James Madison man of the match here, and I understand goals get the
points.
get the attraction and the points. Hell of a free kick, definitely. I like this thing that teams are doing where they're putting their own wall in front of the other wall and it blocks the keeper's view of the goal. The Leicester wall moved to the right 1 step. Like it looked choreographed. Like they moved it 1 step, like they'd practiced it in training, and the goalkeeper makes a move, to his right because he thinks he's going to dink it over the wall, makes a move to his right and can't get back because it's keeper side. So great free kick routine, great quality there. But for me, dude looking like David Luiz out there at the back. This is only his second game for Leicester. Faes, maybe is how you pronounce it. Faes. Best defensive performance Leicester have had all season for anyone in a Leicester shirt. Definitely had a great game. Definitely had a great game for sure. I feel like they saved Rodgers from the axe, man.
First win.
Talk about the brink.
Their first win of the season comes at the hands of Nottingham Forest. That's horrible for them.
Talk about the brink, dude. Man,
He'll get the axe. He'll get the axe. It's just a matter of time this season.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no way. There's no way. There's no way Leicester has too much money.
I think
be this bad.
Yeah. It's still a long way to go. But maybe they'll march on from this one and it'll be good for them. On the other side of it, I thought before the game that this was like a playoff for the managers. Win or you're fired.
Yeah,
but after
you did say that. Yeah, you said loser gets fired.
Yeah, after the post-match interview with Steve Cooper and a couple of the comments from the guys in the studio, it's just not a different. It's a completely different situation than Scotty Parker and Bruno Lage, because the fans absolutely love him.
Yeah,
there's no like there's no like unrest with the fans. The players are still like him. But man, the guy from, again, whatever, NBC, it was a USA, NBC, whoever it was, NBC, the guy that was interviewing post match wouldn't let up, dude. Would not let up. Essentially, you think you're gonna get fired? Think you're gonna get fired? Like every question, and he's like totally trying to deflect that. I'm like, good grief, man, come on, yeah. Good grief. He gave some classy answers, and they actually asked him, "Do you think your players are good enough?" They actually asked him that, just like they asked Scotty Parker that.
Right.
And that his response may have saved his job because Scotty Parker's response to that lost him his job.
Yeah, no, we're
He
not.
said that, yeah, essentially Scotty Parker's like, no,
No,
we're terrible.
terrible.
Okay. No, but I think his response, Steve Cooper's response was, I'm never going to say that. I believe in my team. I believe in our players, and we'll get it right. We just got work to do. Very classy answer. You know.
What
So
kind of, I mean, honestly though, what kind of conversation do you have with your team and your organization and your owners when you come from champions to the Premier League? Like,
they
what
spent
are,
$200 million, man.
well, I get that, but
They
like,
brought in 22 players.
what are you, right? That's my biggest question. Like, what are you expecting to do here in the next few years? Because these guys spent $200 million on one player.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't, I think he would have less to fear than like someone like Brendan Rodgers, where I think the expectation at Leicester is probably a bit different.
A lot higher. Yeah.
Right. But like you said, if the fans love him and the players want to play for him, he's not going to lose his job.
Yeah, I mean, he's beloved. He brought him up from just the same coach that brought him up from the championship.
Right. Like,
I just think that he's wrong.
they're
They're not good enough.
not. No. No.
And they're not a team at all. They're
Right.
just a bunch of players, a bunch of randoms put, together. And but maybe they'll get better. Maybe they'll improve with more time.
One less spot for Frankie, baby. Let's go.
Honestly, man, if Frankie can keep Everton with with their stout defensively, Connor Cody and James Tarkowski have changed Everton's defense big time. Bringing them in, masterclass from Frankie. That's
Masterclass.
big. That's
Yep.
big for sure. Well, that is the Premier League roundup. I
That's
do
it.
want to just touch a little bit on Champions League fixtures.
Okay.
Chelsea with probably the most. Well, I mean,
Biggest.
Inter Milan do play Barcelona, so that's a tasty fixture on paper. But other than that, I mean, Ajax Napoli looks like a good
That'll
one.
be a good game. Right.
Um, but I think y'all have the most juicy tie. Chelsea AC Milan. What do you think?
I'm
London.
I'm worried for Potter because I think that that's more of a test than Palace. I think that's more of a test than Salzburg. I think this,
I'd say it's your stiffest competition so far this season.
exactly. I think it's well,
Maybe Tottenham. Maybe Tottenham are on par with Milan. Probably not though.
that's what I'm saying. Probably, I think this is the biggest game we've had this season so far, and it's gonna and it.
They can cause y'all trouble, man. I've
Bro, they
seen.
have finishers, right?
I've watched a few. I've watched a few of their highlights.
Right.
I watched one of their full games in the Champions League. They're going to give y'all trouble. Rafa Leao he's huge, but he's got pace and he's strong. And I don't know if you saw their highlights versus Empoli. Yes, they struggled, but he got a good goal for the first one. The third goal was a FIFA chip. Clean through breakaway,
No,
and
did the
yeah, clean
Ramirez?
clean through breakaway. Does the Ramirez? Yeah, just a FIFA chip right over the goalie.
Yes. Yeah.
Class,
Do you see
class.
Ramirez got that tattooed on his leg?
Of course he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
so I think that with the space y'all leave sometimes in behind Sterling on that wing, that's where he plays too. And we don't even have to speak about Giroud.
No,
Chelsea is
right,
intimately familiar with what he can do.
right.
So and he's their main man. He's definitely starting. He's definitely starting at the bridge.
We're
Um,
we're favored 70-30
just because you're at home.
because they're at the bridge. Yeah.
It's the only reason. Only reason. Yeah. Um, they're gonna be tough. They're gonna be tough competition. Mm. Prediction?
1-1.
How ambitious are you?
1-1.
1-1. Yeah. I'll be honest though, man. I think that again, y'all are improved. Y'all have improved both games. You improved from the Tuchel area, or from what would happen this season. You improved versus Salzburg, and you
Right.
improved versus Palace on that as well.
If we can get Raheem Sterling, like I understand the concept. I do. I understand the ideal behind it. Like I know I've been kind of a massive anti-change, like where we're moving and how what's been going
So is
on.
everybody.
Right. Because it is a lot really fast, but I understand if you can get Raheem Sterling and Aubameyang to work together and to fill that and to truly feed off of one another. Sterling's got the speed, and Aubameyang he does have the skill set and the
I hate him,
size.
but he's got it. He's got the
Right.
skills. He didn't even have
So
to.
if
He
you
didn't even
can,
have to look at where he was on the field
right,
in
that
this first
I
Palace. He
showed
just
so many
knew.
people that goal, and they were like, "Oh, that was cool," and I was like, "No, I don't think y'all understand." Like
Yeah, that's so tough to do.
he plants his foot. Oh, like he doesn't even look where his body needs to be placed. He just plants his foot here and uses the entire
Turns and hits
momentum
it. Great
to come
goal. Yeah,
across and still puts it on target. I was like, that
he's got the quality. He's got it
right.
for sure.
And Sterling, I think it's always been a confidence thing. Like he just looks he can be beautiful and masterful sometimes. It's just confidence. And the more
He needs
they
to
can
shoot the ball.
right.
Shoot the ball. Oh my goodness.
You're talking about and I think games like this are truly gonna if Graham Potter can bring that out and showcase it in against Milan and tell this Chelsea squad, look, we're just as good as everybody else. Don't listen to the hype.
He's not
Don't
going to
listen
sit
to
back. He's going to play his game. He doesn't
you
care
have
who you're.
right. We're gonna have to.
He doesn't care who you're playing against. He's
And
he's going to try to. He's going to try to have the ball.
if we can do that and we can start getting these building blocks back, like
They get wrecked on the break.
I don't think we're gonna lay down against these squads. Like we came out timid. Like we've been playing very timid this season. First half, we've let a lot of midfield go. It's just a different.
I think Jorginho is going to be important in this game. Jorginho is going to be very important in this game, blocking up their counterattack.
Yep.
They're good on the quick counter. Yeah.
I'm excited to see it. I think it's going to be a huge test for us.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Potter. Wish him the best. Like I don't want to be a part of the sinking ship. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think Potter's the answer when it comes to games like this, and we'll see. Like I hope he can drive us back deep into this Champions
I don't
League.
know. I have hope for Potter. I think he's going to be good for you guys. I do think that.
I'm just worried about these big. I'm worried about these big moments, these big games. Like he hasn't.
I mean, it's a rebuilding process. It might take a year or two before you can challenge for a Champions League again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Just
there
really
are
hope
some
Pep.
other. Yeah. Well, go ahead.
I was like, I just really hope Pep doesn't get it with this squad because it feels kind of cheap. like, like,
Dude.
like he's been wanting one forever, and then he's gonna get it with this one. Like that just feels kind of cheap.
I mean, what are you gonna do? Like that's the
Right. I mean,
hey,
Barcelona's. Then I had to say the same thing about Barcelona's when they had
don't hate them because you ate them. You ain't them,
right.
man. It's like
Yeah, exactly.
you don't. If Holland's on your team, you don't care how you're
Oh, I
put.
don't.
You don't care. You don't care that it seems almost too easy.
Like you're like yeah, like you got the cheat code. Like
You're
yeah,
like,
no.
yeah, we hit up, up, left, left, down, right, square, and
Like you
now
went
he's
to
on.
the no, it's the player sliders, and you put his all at 99, but
Yeah,
didn't tell anybody else. So then you're
right.
playing. Yeah, so every
Yeah,
time you hit a shot, it just goes in. The other player's like,
yeah.
"What the hell?"
It's
Yeah,
like the FIFA like classic 11s where
yeah.
everybody's a
Oh yeah,
97.
yeah. The
Oh, yeah.
gold versus silver. Yeah, 98, 99 or whatever. Yeah, yeah,
Ridiculous. Yeah.
yeah. But there
Well,
are a few other champs league.
yeah, there's some good ones. To be honest with you, though, this isn't the week for the crazy matchups. Maybe Dortmund Sevilla will be a good game, but I think all the favorites are probably going to be good. Madrid over Shakhtar. City are going to score 9 goals versus Copenhagen.
Oh yeah,
Juventus plays Haifa. Yeah, Juventus are struggling. Benfica Paris might be a good game. Probably not though. Paris are just too good, man.
Paris are stupid. Yo, that's
Um,
gonna be a fun. That's probably ultimately gonna be a fun final to watch.
yeah. Interesting though for you at least. Salzburg Zagreb also play on Wednesday, and they play before you, so we can actually. Oh no, you play tomorrow.
Yeah, we
Um,
play.
Very important one. Hope a 0-0.
Yeah.
For your sake.
We need a
Hope it's a boring 0-0 for your sake. And then, of course, the Europa League on Thursday. We won't even touch on it too much. Arsenal have Norwegian champions Bodo Glimt. United go to Cyprus to play someone I've never heard of. Yeah, I think Bodo at home, we're just gonna run them over. Even if we play, I mean, Eddie Nketiah will probably start. Marquinhos might start. Fabio Vieira might get a start. We'll play some of the bench guys. Hopefully Smith Rowe can get in this game. Oh no, dude! I just remembered. Emil Smith Rowe had surgery on his groin, bro. He's gonna be out for like a month or two. He just had surgery. Oh, I forgot about that. But anyway, yeah, it should be a good one. Definitely expect to win that one at home.
Yeah, the Barca Inter should be a good game.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
No, the Barca Inter game that'll probably be ours, and Barca Inter would probably be
probably the best one.
Probably the best ones to watch. Yeah, if I had to choose two.
Yeah, well, I think we'll go ahead and wrap this up on that note. This has been the For the Badge pod. I'm having fun. I'm really enjoying it. What about you?
Hell yeah, man! I love it. It's fun to stay up to date. It's gotten me back into the game a little bit more focused, watching more of soccer and keeping up with it, and exposing. Like the game's kind of in this evolution moment where, it's fun to watch. It's fun to see how the players and how the calls, and like you said, the Premier League's been kind of different. How the refs have been treating it this season from past seasons. No, it's been good to see. And then I think like another thing was, VAR's been kind of a relatively new experiment with the game, and now we're just kind of we finally kind of hit our stride where we know VAR's coming.
We know what to expect with it now, though.
Right, we know, and we know we kind of have a gist on what the rules are for them as well. So it's not so, oh my God, I can't believe they made that call. It's okay, well, they made that call because they're
trying to stick to this or this.
They have this video evidence, of 20 videos that match the same library, and that's the call. It's just a precedent they're trying to set. So, but yeah, no, it's been exciting. I've loved every minute of it, and it's been fun to talk with you about it. Like I said, we talk on the phone and text about this stuff all day, so
might as well, yeah.
Might as well, yeah.
Well, yeah. Hopefully we can bring another episode after the Champions League, Europa League matches.
We'll definitely have to do one for the Champions League update.
Get a little preview on the next Premier League games. Again, this has been the For the Badge podcast. Don't forget to hit the like button. Go ahead and subscribe for all the updates, all the videos. I am Jake.
I'm Xavier.
Have a good night.
Absolutely, guys.